NotebookLM at the beginning of the year on certain features that I thought they should have, and now they have it. So I don't have to like specifically teach you all how to use certain function in NotebookLM already. So let's kickstart this one. Because we only have 2 hours. I don't think we have enough time to cover everything, every single thing on this site. What I will do is I will go for the essential, the most important parts. Any parts that I do not cover within these 2 hours, feel free to explore the site, at your own pace. I'm pretty sure some of you are really quite advanced. So those advanced one, you can just maybe skim through some parts and then take a look at some tips. And those who are still new in using AI for literature review, then you can go a bit slower. Basically, everything is self-paced. It's according to your own pace. But I will be highlighting certain things that I think you should know, like a must-know thing, like must know and good to know. The good to know part, I leave it to you to decide, because sometimes we don't need it. In certain domain or in certain field, we may not need to have certain usage of those AI. Okay, all right. Let's go now. So once you go into the module, you can navigate using the sidebar. If you don't want the sidebar, you can just close the sidebar. So what we will do is we'll start the module now. I want to begin with the mindset, because I always believe before we jump into all these tools, we need to have the right mindset, because things changes a lot in a short time. If you don't have the right mindset, you always chase for the tool to replace you. Every now and then in any workshop, this is by the way the 98th workshop for this year. Can you imagine? I've conducted close to 100 session already for this kind of talk, even at Unima's level. Almost every single week since January, even I think the day after Chinese New Year, I also have a session on this. I believe I need to kind of make a disclaimer that I am not like the expert in the field. I'm more like a mix of end user and also developer, because my background is also in computational linguistics. One of my interests is really to also develop language models and all this as well, so I can see the best of both worlds. So the point is like this: every session that I had with lecturers, with students, with academics, with professionals, with those in the industry, even CEOs. Last week I was with CEOs. They all asked for shortcuts. A lot of questions about shortcut. Can you tell me which one should I buy? Which one should I subscribe so that I can just solve my problem? Unfortunately, you can't. Regardless of how people tell you that you can subscribe to only one, you realize each tool may not fulfill your needs. You get what I mean? So don't chase for the tool, chase for the right mindset, the workflow we call it, or the process. Then you realize actually the free tools are enough for you to do whatever you need to do. All right. So don't chase like the best shiny thing or whatever. Just make use of whatever is available. Right. That's one. And then we need to be more intelligent in using it. I know a lot of postgraduate students, they even among my own students as well, when they go for AI, they want it to be fast. They want to be instant. If possible, they want to write everything in one night. We know that's not the case. The whole purpose of us in studying postgraduate is to produce quality things. It's not just to create happy meals. You know what I mean? It's not about just finishing within 2-3 years kind of thing, just to speed up things. I think with AI now, we need to also enhance the quality. Let's say those days, maybe I wouldn't say those days, maybe 2-3 years ago, when we publish our work, we were aiming for the lower tier, right? We were aiming for maybe low, all this free, maybe some predatory journals, and just to get it published. But with AI now, I think we need to push ourselves up. We should aim for quality journals because of the speed that we have in terms of searching. We have more time to do deeper writing and deeper analysis. So that should be the right mindset. Not so much about getting things done in a fast manner, but more of using AI to wait. There's some noises. I don't know where it comes from. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Because so that you can hear me. Okay. All right. So again, go back to. Sure. Okay, wait. Let me wait for everyone to mute themselves first so that I don't have to like repeat many times. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, um, we need to really enhance the quality of our work. During my sharing as well, I hope, let's say, if previously we were aiming for the lower tier and all this, at least in the next coming months we are aiming for better, better journals. I see it on myself as well, because I think with AI now, we have more opportunity to really do good, better research, because of the speed that we can find the gap and everything. So we can go deeper into some areas that I think, we can excel in, rather than trying to get things done in a fast manner. So I think that's the change that we should aim for. Not about speed, but more on quality. You know what I mean? Like those days, if you want to find like 10 articles, maybe it's a bit difficult, good ones. Now with AI, you can find good ones very fast. So we need to maximize or optimize that kind of, that kind of usage. So if you go to the module that I gave you, what I'm trying to highlight is the intelligent user will not chase after the shiny things only. They will look at the tool and try to decide whether the tool is necessary. So if you're still asking me questions like, what is the tool that I need to subscribe? What is the tool that I need to buy to get things done? I think that question, I leave it to you. I cannot answer on your behalf, because you know better what you need. My point in sharing today is to let you see the workflow where AI can come in to help you increase at least the quality of your work, rather than just getting it, getting it done fast. So we don't want the happy meal thing. We want the intelligent user part. Okay. So just to set the context, I always champion this. We go for AI and human partnership. Human should be double layer, two layers, the sandwich method here. AI should be only one layer. If you leave everything automated, I know AI is capable, because I'm a developer anyway. So I know the capability of AI to actually publish everything on its own. But that's not the reason why we're here in the first place. You know what I mean? If you want to build your academic rigor, if you want to be someone who is good in your research and all that, you should be spearheading the wheel, and the pathway, not letting AI decide everything. So AI is just another layer to help you to kind of make it better in terms of the quality and also the speed. All right. Okay. So these are the things that I just want to start off. Let's go to the tool now, I think. And my module, I go for the free one first, because I think if we go for the paid one, everyone will be asking me, which one is the best and all that. I don't want that to happen. So we go for the free one first, just to let you see the capability of it. And to be honest with you, I myself are using all these free ones, and it's already good enough to do good research, right? Of course, if you come with the mindset where you want a one-click solution, where you just key in your topic, you click, and then the literature review is done, then this is not the workshop for you. Because this workshop is telling you how to make use of the AI to improve, your decision making, your judgment, and your ability to create good literature review without relying solely on AI. I find it always ironic, right? Those people who ask me like, you do you have a one-click solution, and then they worry about being detected using AI. I always find this ironic, right? You are the one who copy and paste from AI, and then you're arguing, oh, AI detector is killing me. You started in the first place. All right, so don't be that kind of in that kind of ironic situation. All right, so let's go to the tools now. I'm going to start, because we only have 2 hours. I can only cover as much. So I have handpicked the, not to say handpick the tools, but handpick the usage. Okay, there's a lot of interruption, so I hope you can get what I want to say, because people are.
Dr. Kiman, you are muted.
Okay, I didn't mute. Somebody mute
I
me.
think, yeah, I think someone muted you.
If I want to be muted, then I don't have to say anything. All
They
right.
try to, mute everyone, inclusive you.
Yeah. I know. It's fine. Um, how to put it? The five tools here are free. You know, it has its free features. I will tell you when you need to pay if you want to. I think you can guess which one. But what I will do is not so much about the tool itself, but what you can do with it. Okay, I think that one is more meaningful because the tool can come and go. You know, today maybe you are excited about NotebookLM and all this. Tomorrow, NotebookLM could be gone. So then you are panicking. You don't know where to go, right? So some things that we need to be cautious about. Okay, let's go to the first one. I think this is the most underrated tool because if you realize when you use ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever, one of the biggest concern is always hallucinated references. Always the case, right? You'll be worrying about whether ChatGPT is going to give you some fake references or fake article, or sometimes um, I think fake articles or fake links are kind of soft now. The issue is always hallucinated context. That means the paper never said so, right? The paper never say anything about it, but AI is hallucinating the context. I think that's more dangerous than giving the wrong link, because if you give the wrong link, you can still fix it because you can find the right link and replace. But the concern is always AI hallucinate. The APA is correct, everything is correct, but the paper never said so, and you trust the paper 100%, right? So that is the concern now. So instead of relying on AI to search uh, blindly in a way, or to search freely, one of the best way is we become the searcher. Because I think if we have, if we can save the time of searching or scouting, we can also save the time in removing all the unnecessary one. You get my point? Let's say you spend 1 hour on ChatGPT and then ChatGPT generate all this nonsense and then you have to fix it, right? And then you realize you're spending longer time to fix rather than to write. So if we start it well, I always say we start well. You don't have to start big, start small, start with like 10 to 20 articles first, and then it snowball. It's very easy to snowball. And then if we start well, a good collection of papers, you will realize AI can be trained to search better because of the search quality that we control. So how do we do that? One of the best two, I think, apart from the commercial one, I will not be touching on the commercial one. Just to let everyone know, most of the commercial one, I'm also their kind of like beta testers and also sometimes ambassador. They'll be asking me to sell to promote. I'm I'm a bit reluctant, except for some you will see if they are good, and then you will see me promoting it because they are good. But just a bit of disclaimer, I'm not doing it for them, right? I'm just trying to highlight some weaknesses and the strength of all of these tools for you, right? So one of the best one, I think the underrated one is Google Scholar itself. After all, we rely on it before this. Pre-AI, I think we rely on Google Scholar a lot. And whether we like it or not, it's still one of the best, how to put it, platform to curate and to kind of help you search. Even though they crawl everything, meaning non-scopus and non-database come they still scroll, but at least you have a big pool or a big ocean to fish, right? If you narrow down your search to Perplexity, for example, Perplexity rely only on semantic scholar, and you will realize the search pool is smaller than Google Scholar. So might as well we go to Google Scholar, make use of its current tool, the latest one called Scholar Labs, to find, right? So let's go here. If you go to the module, the link that I have given earlier, Google Scholar, sorry, the link you have to, wait, the link, if you can't find it, meaning you have to search it here. I think broken because you have to sign in. If you go to scholar.google.com, if you can't go in clicking the link here, I'll fix it later. I think because you have to sign in, but let me just show, maybe just zoom in. If you go to the normal scholar.google.com, make sure you sign in. You have to sign in. If you don't sign in, then you can't use it. I mean, you can, but you can't save it, right? So I'll fix the link here in a bit. You click this one, right? I think I missed the underscore. Yeah, I missed the underscore. Should be this one. I'll fix it in a bit. Don't worry. So maybe let me share it to Malaysia that she can share it in the chat. I'll fix it in a bit. Okay, the link. Okay, this is Google Scholar Lab. A lot of people are not aware of this. It's not the usual Google Scholar. This is actually Gemini with it's Gemini 3.1 Pro with Deep Think, the same thing that we get in NotebookLM. Just to let everyone know as well, the one that you have in the chat, the NotebookLM is Gemini 3.1 Pro with Deep Think, specifically for research. So it's a bit different. If you realize when you chat in NotebookLM, later on you will see it's a bit different from you chat in from the way you chat in Gemini. All right. So even though it's powered by the same company, they kind of fine tune it for research. So when you search on Gemini, you will realize the output may not be that good, but when you search it here, it's really, really for research, right? So how do you search it? The best way, Google advises to use question, like any kind of question. If you see the link I give you as well, there's some guiding question here, right? Some guiding question if you want to. It's better to start with a broader question and then do the follow-up questions. The good thing is when you use Google Scholar Lab, the limit is higher, so you don't have to worry so much about the limit. Hitting the limit where you cannot continue to chat, so you can do so. If you're a bit more how to put it, impatient, you don't like asking question, you can actually specify the things that you want. Okay, let me show you the impatient way of doing this. The impatient way of doing this is you just give the topic. Let's say AI in education. All right, and then you comma or you want the space is fine. Somehow the Gemini can pass it nicely. So you have AI in education, the topic, then you can specify the year. Let's say 2020, just comma or space if you want to, right? Malaysia. Let's say you can say school context, right? This is the impatient way where you don't ask question one by one. You just put all your key, kind of like key variable or key factors inside. Like for example, this is the topic. This is the range. This is the kind of like narrow down to Malaysia. And then you say school context. Then you can just hit send. What happened now? The Google Scholar Lab will pass at least 10 by 10 by 10, usually 20, depending on how. But you can see only found 10, right? You can scroll down and then click more result. The 10 will snowball to more. All right. You can see the speed of evaluating, meaning it's not searching 20, it's actually searching hundreds. But out of those hundreds, these are the top 20 so far. If you don't, if you don't like 20, you want more, just go ahead, scroll down and click more results, right? That's one. What I like, if you pay attention to the search result, a lot of people, they think it's the same as Google Scholar result. Actually, it's different. How? They will summarize it based on your key search term just now or keywords that you have. For example, since you want it to be within 2020 to 2026 in the Malaysian context, all the studies here are not related to, yeah, it's related to Malaysia, but all has elements of Malaysian. You can even see my one of my book chapter here. It's harnessing AI. You see, because the Malaysia here, so this is our book chapter, and then you can see what it's telling you. So this search result, it's how to put it, it's very skewed towards what you have searched just now. This is the impatient way. Yeah? Impatient way means you just specify what you want, right? Then let's say you want to follow up. You are doing quantitative. You don't care about qualitative. You just want to focus on quantitative. Then you can ask follow-up question, narrow down to quantitative studies only. Okay, what happened now? It will remove all the quality from the result. You can see every time you search something, it's creating the session for you. So different session will focus on different area. So just now you were asking them to look for AI in education, 2020 to 2026. After that, narrow down to Malaysia and all that. Then you want it to be quantitative only. So all these studies are quantitative, and it will tell you which quantitative is being used. Like this one is correlational. This one is statistical, but it says here Pearson correlational as well, blah, blah, blah. If you think 10 is not enough, go ahead and search more. All right. If you realize for Google Scholar Lab, it prioritizes downloadable resources. See here? Most of the resources are downloadable because they prioritize downloadable resources so that you can verify. They don't just read the abstract. So they kind of try to help you get the text. But there are links where you can't click, so you have to find out like by clicking related articles and all that. But generally you can. So my point is like this. If you're doing this kind of topic and all that, you go topic by topic, you compile all these articles. If you don't want to read it yet, but at least you know the scope is correct, you can just download it. Of course, this one is preprint. Maybe you don't want the preprint, then you can go for like something that you can download. Maybe this one is a handbook. Handbook, I think you can't download because it's chapter, right? But for journal articles, then you can click here. If you want to narrow down further, you can say I don't want the book chapter. I just want journal article. So you can say even like get from reputable journals only. My point is, every time you search something in Google Scholar Lab, you will see the session like this. More or less like you're chatting. The only difference is you're not chatting with a normal chat. You're chatting with a Google Scholar. It's like you're searching through millions and millions of sources. And instead of relying AI to search, you are the one who are controlling the wheel. All right. So the AI is just helping you to find out what is the most relevant one based on the database. And don't forget, because the session is like continuous like this, it still go through all this, the same context. You can see these are all Malaysian one. Okay. So there's no reason for us to say there is no study done in Malaysia or in whatever country. Very typical, right? We always say, no study has been done and all that. Maybe the study has been done, but with a different wording or slightly a different scope. But it's unfair for us to say nobody has done it before. Most of our research, we are just expanding what others have done. So to say that nobody has done it, can be quite misleading at times, unless you are really, really doing something groundbreaking, right? Something new. But here, everything is continuous, so you can see all this being highlighted. If you compare this with the normal Google Scholar, you don't get this. Okay? You don't get this. So it gives you a quick overview of, what you can find. Now, another way of being impatient is, let's say you go and, click on more result, and you have about 30 or 40 or 50. You have no time to filter yet. What you can do is you can always kind of print this as PDF. You know what I mean, right? Go to this one, click print, and then change to PDF. Print out all the pages, and then you can feed it to ChatGPT or whatever to help you to filter first if you want to, right? To tabulate and see which one. But I personally just download the one that I think is relevant because it's quite fast to skim through. It's highlighted clearly, right? For example, correlation finding, find a weak. So I want this because I want to support my discussion, because I also find a weak significant relationship. So I can use this, for example. So I can quickly download this one, all right? Or, because the skimming is very fast. Or if you don't want to do that, you can ask for follow-up question. Which one show negative result? Like which one shows negative results or outcome? Okay, then you download all the articles. The reason why you see why my strategy or my workflow for you is we try not to let AI decide what you use for your literature. The moment you have that mindset where I want AI to search for me, like using all these tools like consensus or whatever, you are letting it controlling everything, and you don't even know whether it's correct. Then later on, you will spend more time filtering. You get my point? So instead of saving time, you're wasting more time if you are the type who verify. And then you also save the danger of submitting something wrong, right? Recently, even because I'm managing editor for our journal, a lot of fabricated references now, and also content. It's very easy to detect, and sometimes they copy without realizing. They also copy the ChatGPT watermark link, like the equal ChatGPT.com without realizing that they're copying it. So instead of wasting time doing that, might as well we control the source. After all, literature review, sometimes you don't need like thousands. Every section, maybe you only need about 30 to 40 articles if you need that many. But I'm pretty sure you have read a lot of journals. Most parts are very like maybe five to 10 per section. If you multiply that, if you do part by part, you don't have to go for thousands, right? So it's quite manageable. Of course, for a PhD, of course, you have to read more, but even then it's manageable. If you look at it as a sum of small parts, right? One section is about 20 to 30. If you multiply by 10, that's already 300, right? So 10 section would be 300. Rather than letting AI to churn out all the unnecessary things or nonsense links for you, and then you have to be panicked about, okay, all these articles are not relevant. Okay, get my point? But having said that, this is also AI. The only difference is Google specifically link it to its own Google Scholar database, and you can do the judgment on your own without fully relying on what AI is telling you. But my own experiment so far, because I'm looking at hallucinated content in one of my grant research at the moment, this one is okay. Meaning the Gemini 3.1 Pro with deep think in Google in NotebookLM, in NotebookLM, and this part almost 99.9% accurate. So whatever you see here, it's really what's in the article, as compared to if you download one article and then sometimes when you ask ChatGPT or even Gemini, it tells you something else. So you can be quite sure that whatever is summarized here is there, right? Even though there is a chance of hallucination, but it's way lower than other tools. Some people pay for Cite, some people pay for Illicit. That's also worse than this one, all right? Cite is the worst at the moment. Hallucinate a lot. They just put the citation there, but when you read the paper never said so, right? So be careful on that. Okay. So this is the first one. I hope you're clear on this. If you have more questions later on, you can ask me, or you can explore first, because I find this is really underrated. And since we are giving access to the huge database of Google Scholar, might as well we use it rather than spending our money on some tools that we are not even sure where they get it from at times. Okay, all right. Of course, if for lecturers and all that who has access to Scopus AI, you can use Scopus AI, but it's not free because you have to subscribe. Institution have to subscribe to it, but even then, it's only limited to Scopus. So you don't have access to some other articles that may not be available in the database. All right. Okay. So that is the first one. Now, whatever session you have, it's all here, right? It's all here. So make sure you sign in, because whatever article you find, if you don't want to download yet, maybe you don't have time to download, all you have to do is click save. Right? Click all the save button, and then you can save it to your library. So you can create your own list. You can create your own list and save it first. So how? Go to your Google Scholar, you will see my library, and then you will have your, all your reading lists sorted. So it saves a lot of time. If you have Mendeley and whatever, of course, you can also synchronize with your reference manager like Mendeley and all Zotero and all this, because it's downloadable here. Export. All right, you can export as all this thing, and then you can import it in your Mendeley, Zotero, and all, even EndNote if you want to. Bottom line is you're given access to search directly using AI for this Google Scholar Lab. Use it wisely. All right, I mean, please use it so that it saves a lot of time in searching. Okay, so that's the first part. So what happened is, once you have downloaded all the article, if possible, keep it a nice folder and all this. Keep it in a nice folder. If you don't want to keep it in a nice folder, like what I'm showing you now, of course it's not complete, but you can name it, one by one like this, and then keep it nice folder. Or now we have a better tool to save all our articles. You can put it in your Google Drive or whatever, or go directly to NotebookLM. Okay, all right. So the next tool now on our list, these are all some sample if you want to try later on. You can even ask that direct, instruction like this, right? If you want to have gap, let's say I do this just to demonstrate a bit. I'm going to paste it here. What literature on, let's let's go for AI in education again. This is a bit broad. You need to be more specific. So you can also ask this kind of question, and then Google Scholar Lab will be able to dig deeper, and then you can see this summary given to you. All right, saves a lot of time in ensuring that the article is good. You see here, Springer, these are all good ones. Smart learning environment. This is computer education, Elsevier. So save time from rather than trusting AI, digging in some, articles that you don't even know where they come from, right? Okay. Okay. They don't have a plugin yet. I hope one day they have one, which you can directly link with, your other tools like ChatGPT or whatever. Then it saves more time. But at the moment, I think this is good enough for us to really filter. I use this a lot, and I find that I can ensure that whatever article I use in my literature review, they are all good quality, right? Not some random website or random predatory journals and all this. Okay. Not saying that they don't have here. You can they can exist here, but you can always ask a follow-up question where remove them, right? Or just use the, all these sources from Elsevier, Springer, and Wiley, and so on. Okay. All right. So that is the first one. Any questions so far? Just in case before we go to NotebookLM, the subsequent part will be maybe more technical, but I think should be fine. No question at the moment, I guess. I can't see your chat, by the way. So
No question yet, Doctor, in the chat.
if it's either you want to chat, if you really want to ask, maybe you can also unmute if you want to, right? If you have any question, okay? Or else you just type in the chat. Okay, let's go to NotebookLM now. So my second module here will be the NotebookLM, still part two, but NotebookLM. This is one of the most popular tool, I think. A lot of you are using it. Because I can't see the chat. um, but I think you can react, right? Can you react? You can't. You can react. How many of you have not used this? Just curious. Maybe you show a smiley face. Go to react and then show a smiley face if you have not used it. Or I'm not sure whether you can react or not. Nadia is raising her hand. Uh, Yeah, but I can't see any reaction. Never mind. It's harder when you can't chat. Okay, let's just assume some of you have never used it. Okay, some, maybe not all, some. Or you have used it, but maybe not for research. Now, just to give a quick intro, NotebookLM is meant for research at first. Um, Google has this intention because I was one of the earliest beta tester for NotebookLM, one of the earlier days when they only have two things, audio overview and video overview at that time. They were actually targeting business people, right? The aim was for business people. So they have no intention for education at first. They were doing it for businesses so that they can do market research and everything, and then can quickly design, audio overview and all that. But somehow the uptake is larger in education. You can see teachers using it, lecturers using it to create content. So they added more educational stuff, like you can see the slide deck and everything. But I think the plus point is we can still use it for research anyway because the system is designed for that purpose, which is why the middle part is actually the deep think feature that it doesn't exist in the normal Gemini. All right. The center part comes with the deep think feature. Okay. So I will not go step by step. I will not be like everything, but I'll try my best to cover the essential. If you need anything, you can just download my free ebook here. The free ebook has step by step guide from the beginning until any other usage. The only difference is there are some new features, like the studio part that I did not cover. But I think you don't really need some of those. Okay, let's go to NotebookLM. Those of you who have never used NotebookLM, the LM here stands for language model. So I think you can guess. You don't use the large language model outright. You are using notebook LM means you are creating your mini language model where the notebook is source grounded, meaning whatever resources you have, you put it into that notebook becomes your language model. So you can churn out many things. You can generate slide deck, you can generate reports and so on. So just to set the stage. There is an app version. I don't encourage you to use the app version for research because the app version is more on quick answering, quick tutoring for students to study for exam. I think is useful for the app. But if you are really using it for research, go for the desktop version or the laptop version with the browser version. Okay, you see, the screen is bigger and all that. It's easier to use some of the tools. All right, let's click try NotebookLM. The link is notebooklm.google. Yeah, if you have never go to that, or just type NotebookLM on Google, then you'll find it. Just sign in using your Google account. If you are using institutional accounts, you have to be careful because, like in public university, we are given the the university email one. The difference is for university email, you will not be able to see the public notebook. Okay, you will not be able to see the public notebook. Maybe I show you just in case you're wondering what's the difference. If your university actually subscribe to this and you have to log in using your university account, there's a slight difference, right? There's a slight difference. Okay, this is my university account. You will see I will not be able to see the public notebook. This is my personal account. I'm able to see the public one. How do you know the public one? There's a globe next to it. So the institutional one is kind of close. So when you have your notebook, you will also realize this is institutional one. When you want to share, you can't share it out because there's no function for you to go public. The only way to share is to type in the email of the people that you want to share, and those people has to be in the same group. For example, if you're using Uniten email, all people has to be from Uniten, more or less like Microsoft Teams kind of concept. So that's the difference. So if you have a plan to share your notebook out, don't use the institutional one, use the personal account. If your intention is to share. If your intention is just to use it for yourself, it's fine because you don't have to use the share feature. All right. Okay. Now we're going to use this for research. For those of you who are, this is the first time using this, a lot of people will do like this. When they create a new notebook, they create by paper. For example, some people will do like this. I'm going to just close this one first. So they're going to call this, for example, journal paper 1, right? Okay, and then when they add sources, let me just go to my folder. Imagine you downloaded the articles from Google Scholar Lab just now. So you just have to click upload files, right? And then you just pick all the articles that you downloaded just now. Okay, free account can have up until 30 to 50, depending on your whether you're plus or normal. If you are pro, you have the chance to upload until 300 files in one notebook, which I don't think you need because you can do it one by one. This is not a good practice. You don't dump everything by paper in a way because sometimes when we write our literature review or whatever paper, whatever, we have to have the multiple topics. So my advice to you, if you want to use NotebookLM to keep all your articles, do it by topics, right? Like this. I have one for self-regulated learning. So all the self-regulated learning one, I put it here, right? All the self-regulated one that I found, whether it's directly downloaded or link or whatever, I'll just put it in one. And you can see I label according to my section if you want to. The 2.1, 2.2 is just optional. Okay, if you don't want that, it's fine. But to help you structure it nicely in your chapter or whatever, it's good to label them because you can change it anyway, right? So I have one for self-regulated learning, and I also have one for learner engagement and active learning, and then I have another one for blah blah blah. So you can do by topic all the articles in one. You get my point? Because later on, when you combine with Gemini, you can mix and match all this notebook, and you have better time writing. You get what I mean? Like if you go by journal, there's another problem with this. Of course this one is they're all similar topic. Imagine all these have multiple topics, about all different topics. Every time you want to generate something, you always have to pick the right one. Let's say I only want these three, right, to be summarized. So every time you have to kind of select all blah blah blah, because you have multiple articles here from different topics. So it's not really advisable. If you do by topic like this, because all articles are the same. These are actually a lot of articles. Gemini, NotebookLM helped me compress it. How to put it? You know, all these are all about learner engagement, so you don't have to worry. So regardless of which article it refers to, it will be about learner engagement and active learning. Compared to if you dump everything about journal paper 1 like this, all kind of articles are here, then you have a hard time sorting them later on, or you're going to have a hard time trying to ask the right question. Even if you use this one, right, auto label, you can use the auto label to help you label, but the accuracy may not be there. So you still have to waste time finding by the topic, okay? So tip number 1, when you start your notebook, start by topics or your variable maybe, right? Depending on what variable you're looking at. And all the articles that you found, if you don't want to keep it in your computer, just in case when, somewhere, you just upload it here. Just click add sources and then you upload files, okay? You can see for pro account, you can upload until 300, but I don't think you need to go for 300. Maximum you should go is actually about 50. This one, because I was demonstrating that day, 50 is a nice number. Because imagine if one topic is 50 articles, if you have like 10, you're going to have 500 already in your references. So that's I think a bit too much at times, okay? So why do I don't encourage you to use this? Of course, another tip is to search from deep research here. You can actually search directly here. I don't encourage this because most of the search result, you can't really view the whole paper. There's only like link or sometimes only abstract. So you don't know whether you have access to the whole paper, right? Let's say I search now, you will see it trying to search. It will take some time or take a while to do this, but I'm just demonstrating to you where if you use this direct search, right, it will be not that clean, meaning you still have to do a lot of de-weeding, removing here and there. So might as well you start clean from the beginning, download all your articles that you want, put it in one notebook. Okay, clear? Okay, now while waiting for this, let it do it first. The next tip that I think all of you should use if you're talking about using NotebookLM for research is to configure your chat in the middle here. Every time you have sources here, if you don't have any sources, if you start a new notebook for NotebookLM, if you have no sources here, you can't configure. You can have to upload something first. You can upload some articles or links if you want to. Then you will see this configure notebook. Not sure we can use. Can you see this one? Configure notebook. Don't worry about this customized picture. This is just decorative, cosmetic. What matters is this one, configure notebook. Click on it. By default, you will see the default, right? And then the default will be conversational style. If you're using it for research, please customize it to sound like research. So the example that I gave here is respond as at an expert level with technical detail if possible. Verify all argument across given sources. Don't take things at surface level. Cite all sources in APA 7 edition and put the citation next to it. Now, you will see your NotebookLM and mine is a bit different because I have configured in such a way. You can see all my output here contains citation. Let me just zoom out a bit. All right, this is before I don't. You can see here when I write the configuration, because this one is the demo. So this is the one. Okay, you can see the citation. And then when I ask some question, it will write in a deeper way. This is pre-configuration, just to demonstrate to you. Okay, now one more thing is it will also list the references. Unfortunately, so far, the listing of the APA is not that 100% accurate yet because it all depends on what you upload. But I think good enough for you to know which one it is. You can just configure it later or use your other tools to do the references. Okay, but if you don't have this, if you don't do this, you won't even get this. You only get the numbered one. So you need to you need to kind of configure it like this, right? Under the custom. So how do you do this? If you go to the link I gave you, if you scroll down, I give you one example here. You can just copy. Okay, you can just use the free available for you. So just copy this, go to my link, just copy this, go to your NotebookLM, go to your configure chat, and then just paste it in. If you want to add, you can add. Okay, let's say I add now. So let's say I write one paragraph for what is this regulated learning, maybe the definition. Okay, let's say, for example, this is just to show you how it works. If you have the configuration here, right? If you have the configuration here, you don't use the default one, you use the customized one, the one that you custom, put it in, you will see the output is different from the normal usage of NotebookLM. All right. Okay, you see the deep research completed. When you view, right, all this list, right, you still have to filter. And some of the links are actually links, even Wikipedia as well. So that's why I don't really encourage you to use the deep research directly here, because you're going to waste time filtering one by one again. So NotebookLM is good to be used when you have the sources already. You just pull all the sources in. Okay, you just pull all the sources in. So I don't want to use this. These are all the sources I have. All right, so write one paragraph, you can see the link because this is definition. So I think I don't have any definition here. You can see why the sources has no citation. All right. Okay. So you have to find, something related to your topic. Okay. Because this is an old one. Let me start a new one so that we can, be on the same page. Let me start a new one. And I'm going to name this as, I'm going to upload. So I'm going to upload all this. I think this one should be this same. Okay, I'm going to upload everything here. So it will kind of decide the topic for me, but this is AI and critical thinking. So let's say you're doing this. So you can just wait for it to load first. Okay, wait for it to load first. All right, so all loaded, all you can see the checkbox here, and then the title is already there. So you can edit the title, just make it critical thinking and AI. Let's say you're doing this topic, so just name it like that, and then go to configure notebook, go to custom, and then you can paste the one I mentioned just now, right? Save. Okay, so let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. The first thing you need to do if you're doing literature review is to ask it to do metrics. You can directly ask to do the table here, or you can use the data table here. My preference is data table, but if you think the data table is a bit too narrow here, right? Narrow here, you can prompt it here. I'm going to go for data table first, right? And then we come back to the middle part. So if you go to data table, don't click the data table directly. Click the arrow, yeah? Click the arrow here, the arrow pointing to the right. Click on it. Then you can see you can customize here. So what do you customize? Do a literature review matrix. Oops. Comparing all articles based on. So you just give your key, just give your areas. Let's say I want to start with author or authors. Okay. With year, for example. And then let's say location. All right, you can do that. Or you can say key findings, method use. Or maybe you can also say limitation, because limitation usually is the one that gives you the clue for your research gap, right? So generate. You can use the data table to do that. While waiting for this to be generated, I'm going to do the same here. All right, I'm going to do the same in the middle. Do a literature review matrix, comparing all articles or all the sources, right? All articles, covering, let's say, authors here, things. Oh yeah, I forgot about location. Okay, key findings, method choose, and limitation. Okay, that's done. You can see the data table is done. All right, and then this is still working. So I'm going to click this one and let you see. Can you see the data table now? All right, and all these are matched to your sources. Unfortunately, you can see when you use data table, it only reads until 5. How many do you have here? You have a lot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so when you use data table, you have to check if how to put it, if it's not enough, you might want to, oh, I think I know why. Some are duplicates. Okay, never mind. Check, yeah? That's why you have to verify. If number one is this one, you have to check whether it's correct or not. All right. Okay, this one is Union, this one is number two, right? So it doesn't follow the sequence here at the moment. I don't know, I'm not sure why. Okay, but you can see it's 2025. Okay, so it's this one, 2025. This is 2024. Oh yeah, it's sorting by by its reading, not our reading, not our sorting, yeah, by its own reading, yeah. Okay, but at least you get the table done. So what do you do with this table? You can click on it, and then you can export to Google Sheets, and you have a nice literature review matrix in Excel format, right? Of course, you don't need the sources here. You only need the table. So you can, if you think it's a bit harder to write, you can just wrap them in. You got your literature review matrix, and at least you know which paper to refer to, all right? But be careful of the naming, yeah, because this one depends on how it rates. Sometimes the naming is wrong, but at least you still know which paper you are reading, reading for. So my testing I shared earlier, for NotebookLM, the accuracy of reading from the sources is close to 100%, but not 100% yet. Meaning there will be a little bit of hallucination in certain areas. For example, I caught a few times NotebookLM hallucinate on areas that it doesn't have. For example, like because you ask for limitation, but some sources here do not have limitation. So what happened is NotebookLM fabricate or hallucinate. So you have to be careful. Whatever you ask, NotebookLM to do, you have to make sure the paper contain those parts. It's like you upload some paper, the paper doesn't have findings, but you ask for findings, right? By right, NotebookLM will be able to tell you that there's no finding there, right? There's no finding. So maybe it's a conceptual paper or whatever. But somehow, in some cases, when you generate this kind of data table, it will hallucinate, yeah? But the accuracy is close to 100%, almost 98 and above, because out of a few occurrences, only one or twice. So you have to be careful. But I always blame on the source grounding, meaning not really the AI fault, is this part. That's why it's really, really important for you to feel. This is the demo data, of course. I just randomly download some article just for today. So if I really go through all these articles that I select, then it will be better, right? So that's one way to control the quality of the output. The concept of garbage in, garbage out. If you select poor quality papers, of course, you don't get the meaningful outcome as well. Okay, this is for a letter table, but let's say I do the middle one. You can see the middle one is slightly nicer, right? You can see the middle one is slightly nicer, right? And what happened is because it's also doing a bit of summary on top, and then it gives you this one. Okay, if you want, you can save to note, save this to note, right? Save this to note, right? Save that to note, and then you can use it to doc. You don't even have to copy it. Just save it to note and then export it out. But the table is a bit messy now. The conversion sometimes depend on your luck. If you don't want, then go to Google Sheet because its table format is easier. Yeah, like this. Okay, so even if you do the chat in the middle, it's not formatted directly in table format. You can save it to note first, right? Save it to note first. And then from the note here, this is the note, right? You can export to sheet. Or if you want to generate something based on the table, you can add this to source or convert this to source. So you can see the source appearing here, right? Then I can select this source alone to create whatever I want. For example, I can create only this source to create report. I can create my slides only based on this. Or I can create, all this overview if I want to. Only based on this because this is a summary table of all. Get my point? So you don't have to select all like this because that will consume more time and sometimes can create more problem. So you might want to select all. You just summarize this here. You add to node, save to node, and then from save to node, you convert to source. And when you tick this source, you can generate better outcome or better output here. Let's say I can generate an infographic based on only this table, right? So those of you who have never tried NotebookLM, you can try. You can generate infographic slides and so on. So that one maybe I will not cover in detail because those are more on other output. But you can try and generate something here. Let's say infographic to summarize the studies, right? For example, so it will generate the infographic based on only this one, which is this table actually. All right. Okay. So if you don't want that, you can also click on that and then export to Google. When you export table, I think for now, NotebookLM, just export to Google Sheets, because if you go for doc, it'll be like this sometimes. If you're lucky, the table will be nicely formatted, but if you're not, then it'll be like this. Everything jumbled up. So for tables, it's better for you to export it to like this, right? The Google Sheet or Excel format. After all, that's the literature metrics, right? So you can just convert it to Microsoft Word later on. Okay. Yeah, what else for this one? Yeah, the report and all this, I don't think it's useful now for research. A lot of people will tell you that you can use this to do literature review and all this. Let's not use that. Let's use another way, because the second way is better than using this one. My concern with generating report, you can see here, you can create your own and then ask it to do literature review. The concern here is the word count, usually very limited. Number two, the report here is not as good as when you combine it with the canvas mode. Okay, I'll show you in a bit. Okay, we link it with Gemini and write it in canvas mode, because the canvas mode has more elaboration, so you can write a bit more longer. Okay. Yeah, any question first for this, NotebookLM? So the for literature review, it's mainly to keep or store your article, and at the same time to summarize, right? To summarize or to do a bit of synthesis if you want to, directly here. All right. But the synthesis in terms of the lengthier one, don't do it here, because the space is very narrow. I mean, narrow as in even the token size is very limited, the token that you have here. But one thing good about NotebookLM chat in the middle is you are able to have guiding question. Maybe there's something that you miss out, like synthesize. So I created this infographic. So this infographic is summarizing the table just now based on the this one, only this source. All right. But of course, I did not prompt well. So you can see this is very generic, very typical NotebookLM style. You can actually customize it, right? Here, whatever style you want and all that. Okay. All right. I think that's it for NotebookLM for this part. If you have if you have time, you can try all this other prompts. Okay, all these other prompts for you to try. But I always find you can see the workflow already, I guess. I don't know whether you see it. I'm probably the flow is you use this Google Scholar to search, right? And then use NotebookLM to keep them, because it's a nicer way to keep your articles there than to keep it in your, let's say, reference manager, because reference manager only keep the references, and all that. At least if you have it in NotebookLM, you can generate summary, you can generate synthesis, and it's more grounding and source grounding, or the sources can ensure that you are not hallucinating. Right, the AI is not hallucinating. Okay, now once you have all these things in your NotebookLM, all these articles nicely done according to the topics, like I show you just now, topic by topic. Imagine now you have like hundreds or whatever, if you have different topics or different scope or different variables. How do you combine them and write literature review and all that, right? So one of the best way to do this at the moment is to link it with Gemini, all right? Because they are same family, same creator, Google. So it's easier for you to sync, right? So how? Now, you need to make sure you're signing into the same account. Yeah. If you sign into this account, your Gmail for this account, for NotebookLM, you have to go to the same account in your Gemini. So I'm going to go for Gemini. It's still free at the moment. Not sure how long, but hopefully, it will stay free. So I'm going to go for Gemini. Okay, your Gemini interface will be slightly different from mine, because I'm using the Pro one at the moment for this one. So your free one may not have certain thing, but essentially we are having the same thing in terms of the basic tools. Okay. Now what happened here is, if you go to gemini.google.com, we treat it like a chat usually, or we treat it like a very fast speed kind of, help me write this and all that. Now that we have NotebookLM, and if you don't want to write directly within NotebookLM, you can actually do the writing here. And the best mode to write that is to use the canvas mode. If you go to ChatGPT used to call it canvas, but now ChatGPT embed it directly with the chat. It's like auto detecting your keyword. For example, if you go to ChatGPT, when you ask it to write, it will turn out the canvas mode directly. Not like before where you have to turn on the canvas mode. Yeah, okay, maybe I show you. Some of you may be a bit, you are not sure what I'm talking about. If you go to ChatGPT now, if you are using ChatGPT, whether free or paid, you will realize there's no more canvas mode. There's no canvas mode. Okay, there's no canvas mode. There's only write or edit. So the moment you say something like write essay or paragraph, it will turn into the canvas mode. Let's say write 5 paragraph on AI in education. The moment it detects something like writing and so on, you will see it changes to this one, this box. Before this, it doesn't work this way, right? Before this, it goes to the side of this. So you can click edit. I'll wait for it to finish first. When you click edit, this is what we meant by canvas mode, right? The canvas mode where you are able to edit directly with AI. You are not, question and answer anymore. You are able to edit, right? So in Gemini, it still maintains the how to put it, the canvas mode here. See here? The canvas mode is also used for coding, to create simulation apps and all that. But we are not going to use it to code. We're going to use it to write, right? So the reason is you have 2 million tokens to play with, meaning to say you can write long essays. All right, you can even finish your whole thesis here if you want to, instead of you doing in Microsoft Word or Google Doc, of course, for the writing part. You can do it here, and then how to put it, you transfer it to Word document for the template or formatting, right? But you can do the drafting here. Okay, now go to Gemini again, gemini.google.com again, and then click the plus sign and then find Canvas. Not Canva, yeah? Do not be confused with Canva. This is not Canva. This is Canvas, yeah? Right? There's another tool here, Deep Research. Deep Research is the same advice I give you just now. If you are using it for your research, for literature review and all that, I don't encourage you to do this, because this one will mix a lot of things. It will mix websites and all that, and then in the end, you have to do the removal or whatever, and then you're wasting your time. So might as well you compile everything, the good one that you have found. You don't need a lot. 20 to 30 will be sufficient for a topic. Put it in NotebookLM. All right, put it in NotebookLM just now. Where's my notebook? Okay, NotebookLM. Put it in NotebookLM. All right, topic by topic, because there's no limit in terms of the number of notebook you can create. All right, so just create topic by topic. And then you go to Gemini, click the canvas mode first, activate the canvas mode first, and click the plus sign again. You will see more upload, and then you will see notebook. This is where the magic happens. You click the notebook, you can select multiple notebooks. Let's say I'm writing literature review now. I want to synthesize across topics, not topic by topic. I want it to be like, let's say you're writing for journal. Sometimes we put it together, right? So you can select multiple notebook like this. So I'm going to have 3 now. 1, 2, 3. What happens now? Whatever you give here, whatever prompt, whatever instruction you give here, Gemini will only refer to the sources within these 3 things. It will not go out of these 3. So minimal hallucination, because everything has been filtered and checked by you, hopefully, in NotebookLM before you start writing it here. So you see the workflow just now? Go and find a good article that you can find. Use whatever tools you want, but the one that I recommend is Google Scholar Labs, because that's one of the best ones at the moment and free. Gather all the articles, put it into your NotebookLM one by one, topic by topic just now. oh, sorry, this one, topic by topic just now, and then come back to Gemini to start doing the drafting. Right? I'm just giving a simple example based on this notebook. Right, maybe the first three paragraph of my research problem, for example, because you know what you're doing. This one is just a demonstration, so you need to pick the topics or the notebook that you have compiled and then do this. Now the model here, you have flashlight, you have flash and pro. If you are using Gemini Pro, I mean you subscribe to Google Pro, then you can go for Pro. But my testing so far, 3.5 flash is more than enough for you to reach the academic level. But if you have more limits, because this one will eat up your limit, every time you use this, it will take up your limit and you have to wait. If you are okay with that, you can go for 3.1 Pro, of course, that's the better choice. But 3.5 Flash will be sufficient. The thinking level here can go for standard will do. If you want to have a more complex calculation, like let's say you are verifying calculation and all that, then you go for extended. For writing, you don't need this. In fact, for writing, if you go for 3.1 Pro and all this, your writing will be not slightly, quite complicated to be understood, and it sounds so fake. It sounds very fake because they use inflated words. You get what I mean? Words that we don't really use, but because you're using the pro version, the model, it tried to inflate some of the academic words. So if you want, you can start with 3.5 first. I always believe that way. You go for the plain version first, and any words that you think you want to make it bombastic or you want to make it sound better, you change. Rather than everything is bombastic, you want to make it plain, it's harder. Get my point? So sometimes when you submit your manuscript to some journal, they reject outright, not because of that, because they detect that your language is, very AI in a way because of the complexity of the word choice. Sometimes in academic writing, we don't write that complex. AI make it more complex or make it more complicated. So try not to do that, okay? So I'm going to go for 3.5 and then I'm going to submit. So it will take some time at, depending on your notebook, because my notebook, one of it maybe has a lot of sources. If you have a lot of sources within one, let's say more than 100, you will see a bit slower in terms of the process. So my advice to you, if you want to speed up this, what you can do is, let's say I'm going to go for the 78 sources, this one. What you can do here is you ask it to summarize it here first. Right? You can summarize the key things here first. So when Gemini go and find this notebook, it will try to read the center part first. So like what I'm doing now, all these center part things is helping Gemini to understand what I want to do. All right, what I want to include in my literature review, rather than just make it blank and only put the sources in. Get my point? All right, this will really help you to think. And the best part is whatever you ask in Gemini will also be synchronized to your NotebookLM. Okay, so it like cross platform kind of synchronization. Whatever you ask in Gemini will also appear here. All right. Okay, let me here now. Now see here. What happens now, because you are using the canvas mode, this is the canvas mode, only applicable in desktop version or, bigger screen. If you go for the app version, you don't really get this. So what happened now, you are asking to write the, the lengthier version, right? Because I asked it to write 3 paragraphs. You can write together. Let's say you are reading this and then you don't like this, so you can say, in addition, blah, 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 blah. You can also write. This is what we call by smart partnership. We don't just ask AI to write outright. We can still come in and write and fix some things that we don't really do. So for example, like this is an error here. So Munoz Martinez, of course, you have to delete Munoz, right? And then blah, blah, blah. You can still write together with AI and you can detect some problem here. Oh, but this is part of the parenthesis. That's why it's like this. But anything that you don't like, you can just edit directly. Let's say I don't want this. Imagine I don't want this. All right, where is it? Here. So I can just delete. So you're like drafting together with AI and all your drafting are all here. And the best part is you can keep on continue, right? Okay, let's say this is another way. Let's say this one. You can ask Gemini here, rewrite this to be more, let's say, precise. Okay, it's like you are the editor, so you ask AI to help you. But you can see the output is different, right? The output is different from the normal chat because you are grounding it to the sources from NotebookLM. It is not taking it from outside. So you can control the quality of the output because you know what you have in your NotebookLM. So whatever Gemini is producing, it's based on those notebooks, right? So you don't have to worry so much about, it going out of the context or whatever. Okay. Okay, now it's still working. I think he's trying to what do you call that? Gemini is trying to decide what do you mean by this, so he's trying to write better. But every time you ask it to write, all right, it's gonna be based on this. So let's say if you want to have another one, then you can add more, right? Okay, now okay, see, it will tell you what are the changes done. Okay, yeah, Gemini has changed that, so these are the part. So you can just continue. Now let's say continue to the literature review section. Okay, review this systematically, right? Based on themes or let's say key variable. For example, I'm just giving you some example first. If you want, you can go here and go to Gemini part and then copy some of the prompts here. Yeah, these are because I will not be able to go one by one, so you can try it later on. And I already show you the difference between deep research and all that. So you can see now it's still working, and by right it's going to be longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. So you can write up until 2 million token. 2 million token is about the whole Harry Potter series, 7 books, more than that actually. All right, so you can have like I think multiple theses if you want to write here. It's just that there's no formatting. It's just writing. So use it as a draft is fine. Not asking you to write everything here, of course, because you still have to use the template and all that, right? This is more like a drafting session where you are writing together with AI in terms of the writing part. Okay. Of course, there's another layer later on where you have to fix the language where all this AI sounding part you have to minimize. Okay. Okay, still writing, expand. Where is it? What is it here? Where's my literature review section? Not here. Oh yeah, it's still okay. I'm impatient. The literature review is still in process. Okay. All right. Okay. So can you imagine if you do like this systematically, all your sources, everything, and then how to put it, your uh, you're spending time drafting, and then in one sitting you can have a nice draft already. All right. Okay. Things that you don't really have the chance to do if you're really like sitting there waiting for your first word to come out in your Microsoft Word or Google Docs. AI give you the rough idea. This is how you should start. And then you come in from with an editor mindset of course, with the author mindset as well, where, okay, I don't need this actually, for example. So you can just delete. Or I think this one is a bit too complicated for my reader, so I want it to be simplified. So you can always highlight, and then simplify. So you can see the decision making or the judgment is still at your end, but of course you need to know your content well. In a way, you need to know your topic well. So don't let AI control your understanding. Like for example, when people talk about SLR, self-regulated learning, they will definitely cite Zimmerman. All right, so you know that AI is doing the right track because Zimmerman is one of the not one of the he's the one who created SRL, things like that. You get my point? You still have to be the one that have that intellectual capability to give judgment, not AI giving you everything. Okay. See, now in a couple of minutes, I have generated a long one. Okay, I can continue doing this in canvas mode, keep on doing. And if you scared that you lost track, you can always click back and all this thing, you can always click back. Or if you are scared that AI replaces everything, you can always prompt, let's start a new section. Okay. So it will create another like a like a document, not really document, but another section of the document where still here, but you can always check, the previous version and the current version, something like that, right? So, you don't have to worry that everything's gone. Or after you're done, all you have to do is, okay, you're still writing. You just have to click this, share canvas file. Okay, it's done. Okay, still working on it because I didn't specify, but you can see it's longer and longer now. Okay, let me stop this. Okay, I stop this one because it's going to take some time. So once you're done, if you click the one that is done just now, this one, click this one. Maybe because I disturb. You should be able, yeah, because I skip, because I skip, you can see that because I skip, right? So you should be able to click this one, all right, and then export to Google Docs, all right? Don't click the create one. This one just for other artifact like web page or whatever. You don't need that. You just need to click the share button, all right? You should be able to click that because I disturbed the flow just now. It doesn't allow me to click share, all right? Okay, so that is the beauty of you combining Gemini with NotebookLM, and then your literature review will be more grounded, and you don't have to worry that it's getting out of the, out of your sources. So whatever you see here, right, all these sources are all from this list. Okay, so which is why I tell you, if you control your sources here, like within the year, location, and everything, then you control your output. Good input, good output. If you just let AI do all the input, of course, the input may not be good, the output will be bad as well. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So make sure you control the input first before you even arguing about how good or how bad the output is, because this one has to be good first. All right. So how do you know you're good? You go and to the best way is for you to read. Actually, one thing that I forgot to tell all of you is I find that now, because of AI, students are not reading. They don't really read the whole article. I mean, you don't have to read maybe every single word, but at least you read the article and you are able to articulate what the article is about, right? But these days I notice don't a lot of people don't read. So when you are asked, let's say my student, for example, they come and see me and then say, okay, what's this article about? All they can do is they just read the abstract. But they don't know every, the key parts of this, where, for example, the limitation is actually very important for you to use as a reasoning to support your research gap, for example, or even in your assignment. If you're doing assignment, when you read the article, you get more insight on what to say. If you just read the abstract, you are not able to write well because you are relying on AI to just expand something that maybe not even in the paper. So it's always good to have a reading as well. That's why I started off with that one, with Google Scholar Search. You search, you download, you take a look and read. Okay, fine. Now this paper is good. I'm going to put it in my NotebookLM. Okay, one. Then do another one. So every day, if you practice like reading 2 or 3 papers, by the end of the week, you have about 20 already, right? So make that kind of habit to also read and decide. Don't just say, oh, AI is lousy because it's hallucinating. Of course, because you're not verifying the source, right? I mean, don't blame on machine when human are letting machine to control the thinking process, right? So if we don't want machine to control thinking, we should come in first to do the selection, because half of our job is done in a way, because the writing part AI can help us and everything. We just do our part, right? We have to play our part as well in the process. After all, our name is there. Whatever thesis you are writing, whatever paper you're writing, your name is there. AI is not there. There's no Gemini, there's no ChatGPT, there's no nobody in the name. Your name is there, right? So you have to be aware of that as well. Okay, now we are done with the Gemini and LinkedIn, because that is the most important thing I believe when it comes to literature review or even writing. If you want to write books, book chapters, I think this is also one way to source ground, to make the sources grounded, so that the hallucination will be lower, right? Okay. I think that's done. So use the canvas mode. I just want to recap this part. For Gemini, when you start a new chat, okay, if you're lost, you just click this one, yeah? Click the Gemini link and then click the plus sign. All right. first thing you need to do is activate the canvas mode and then go to more upload, select the notebook that you want. You don't have to select like a lot, like I said, but if you want to compare and contrast between these topics, then you can select more, right? If you just want to do one, go ahead and do one, no problem, right? This is good when you are writing assignment actually, because assignment you tend to compare and contrast different areas, right? One, because you're trying to do all your writing one go. You don't go one by one. But when you do literature review, you can actually can do it one by one as well, like part by part if you want to, right? Depending on your liking. But the powerful part of this Gemini and NotebookLM linkage is the ability to select multiple notebooks, right? I can select all this if I want to. But the more you select, the slower it is, because it has to read across different notebook. But best practice, keep it to less than 10, right? Anything more than 10 will be, too ambitious. All right. Okay. Or do part by part, like I said, that would be better. Because you have to remember as well, because the more you push the AI, the lousier it is, right? Because you have to compensate its server capability as well. Okay, done. I think I don't want to go that much on Gemini. Okay, ChatGPT is just a tease. I don't think there's anything much for ChatGPT, but anyone has a question? Yeah, before I go to ChatGPT.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
thank you very much for the presentation.
yeah,
Indeed, we are learning a lot. The incorporation of Gemini and the notebook, is there any tendency of hallucination with the
yeah.
Gemini getting into that,
Yeah,
incorporating the notebook LM?
yeah, like I mentioned just now, there is a chance of hallucination, but it's close to 100%. Meaning, I mean, the accuracy is close to 100%. The hallucination is about 2-3%. So one tip that you can use is don't put too many notebooks, because the more notebooks you put, the chances of hallucination is higher. So good quality is, you can see when I do just now, I only pick 2 or 3, because that grounds the quality. You get what I mean? Because the more you give, the chances of it hallucinate the outcome is there. Okay. So, but my own testing, the moment you link it well to NotebookLM, hallucination is way lower. Yeah. Any more? Yeah. Nuruddin, I think. Nuruddin. Are you going to ask a question, or you accidentally? Okay. Because I can't read the chat. Yeah. Sorry. I can't read the chat. So if you want to ask, you can directly ask. Okay. While waiting for the question, ChatGPT, right? Let me just go straight to ChatGPT. I'm still introducing ChatGPT because I think a lot of people are still using it. If you go to my module here, of course, these are the typical prompt that you can use. I only want to introduce the project part, because the project part function more or less like NotebookLM. Okay, it works more or less like NotebookLM. The only downside is the number of files you can put is very limited. I can't remember how many. I think free account is about 5, or maybe less than 10. But if you pay for the pro, or for the plus version, then you can put more. Why? Because the project one, everyone knows this, right? If you go to ChatGPT, you don't chat directly here. If you want to do literature review, you go for project. Okay, project. So I was demonstrating last 2 days on all this. Project means you have the similar capability like NotebookLM, but a bit limited in terms of the number of sources if you're not paying. So this is how it works. If you go to project, you start a new project. You can name the project. For example, this is let's say self-regulated learning. Uh, you know, maybe I'll just put it as review. Okay, as long as you know, this one doesn't matter. As long as you know what it is, right? I'm going to create this project. Okay, immediately when you create this project, you have like a folder part, like a folder where of course, you can customize this if you want. That's not important. Where you have chat and you have sources. Okay, the sources here is where you do like what you did with NotebookLM just now. So I'm going to upload my articles. Let's say I upload 5 first. So I'm going to drag it in. Okay, you can even click add sources, and it's same it function, more or less the same like NotebookLM. Okay, but like I said, please download the article like this first, because you have access to the full article. You read the article first, at least the gist of it, not like only the heading or the abstract. So you have access to this. So these are all the sources, and then you can start chatting. This one will lower your hallucination problem immediately, because whatever you ask here, it will be based on your uploaded sources. Of course, the part where it hallucinate what's not in the paper is possible. And based on my testing, Gemini hallucination, if you couple with NotebookLM, is still okay. But for project, it's also quite low, right? I mean, the hallucination rate is also low because of the current model, the 5.5 model. I think all of us, even free user, you're using 5.5. If you're using lower than 5.5 before this, like even 5.3 or even 04, 03, Omni 3 or Omni 4, hallucination is still there. Even though you put an article, right, it will still hallucinate. But for 5.5, lower. Not saying it's 100% accurate. There is still a possibility, but you're lowering it down. So now that I put all the sources here, all I have to do is I just chat. So I can start adding more if I want to, or I just chat. Let's say write 3 paragraphs for my review on AI and critical thinking. Okay, you don't have to say based on sources, but if you want, you can. But I'm gonna, oh yeah, I forgot to change it. I'm gonna use the medium one. Medium is the standard one. The one free user, you don't get to choose, yeah? Free user, you don't get to choose this. You're using sometimes instant, sometimes medium, depending on your question, right? If you're using free account for ChatGPT, ChatGPT will decide for you, right? Okay, so you can see all are from the article we uploaded, okay? And then because you use the word write here, it will automatically use in a canvas mode now. And then you can click edit. Of course, you can edit. All right. One thing that you notice here is my prompt doesn't say put the citation. So maybe I improve here. Include the citation in APA 7 edition style, for example. So I'm going to send. Okay, I'm going to send. So it will hopefully rewrite with APA. Always add this, yeah. Or in other citation format that you like, IEEE, Chicago, whatever citation you like, just put it in, and then you will write. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the in-text citation is given. So you can see all the in-text are int. Okay, but we have not even fixed the language yet. ChatGPT is the worst when it comes to that. I mean, worse as in not following order. Even though you say don't sound AI, it will still sound AI. The famous one is the list of 3. I just shared the recently. You can see ChatGPT style, right? No matter how you customize your instruction, it always do this. It will do list of 3. How access, process, evaluate. That's one. And then when you read the second line, analyzing, synthesizing, evaluating. Another one. All right. Almost every sentence has this standard style of writing where verbs are being repeated multiple times, or sometimes keyword like this. Even in one paragraph like this, even if you don't use AI detector, you will know it's AI anyway. All right, you don't need the AI detector to tell you this is AI, because how do you know it? The consistency of every sentence is too obvious. You see here? Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. 3 in one paragraph. Right? We don't write like this. So what you need to do is you probably need to come in, like if you have the time, of course, you have to rewrite or ask it to split, or you edit on your own. Then it speed up the process of making your your sentences less AI. Okay. No matter what plugin you use for ChatGPT, it still has this problem, even for other LLM as well, because they were trained using the journalistic data. The first data set that they were trained for the transformer model is the New York Times, and also Reddit, and all this open access, Wikipedia, and all this. So the writing style is a bit different, all right? When you read the second paragraph, you can see the pattern again. And then some student are asking me, why AI detect is AI? Because it is AI style. All right, so you have to reduce all this. Okay, but you get my point. When you use project to write the paragraph, you will see that it's a bit easier to edit because you can type, right? And then you can also ask it to do like what Gemini did just now. Let's say this one, you can say simplify this, let's say to 3 sentences. Okay, so you will try to, but again,
Hello, hello, doctor. Good evening, doc.
Yeah, somebody's asking. Okay, sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Well, please, thank you for the presentation. I want to know how ethical is it to outsource the initial writing to AI modules? How ethical is it?
Oh yeah, that is the last part later on. I will cover in a bit. Okay, there's a ethic part later
Okay.
on. I'll talk about it. Okay, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a
okay.
good
Thank you.
question. Yeah, that's a good
Thank you.
question. All right. So once you write all this, right, and you edit, of course, you don't just copy and paste directly. You can just download directly in Microsoft Word. For ChatGPT, the downloading is easier in a way, so you get everything in Microsoft Word. All right. But again, probably you don't really need this. After all, you will be formatting according to the format, but at least you have a draft. Use it as a draft, yeah? Don't use it as a submission. You are not supposed to do that. Use it as a drafting, okay? So for ChatGPT, I just want to highlight the project part because if you look at the list here, there are also other things like connectors and apps. This one, unfortunately, if you don't pay, if you're not using the plus version, you can't really do custom GPT. You can use other people's one, can, no problem. And the app, the functionality of the app depend on the limit. So sometimes when you connect to the app, like a lot of people are connecting to Consensus, this one. But the thing is, because you don't subscribe to the consensus part or even to your ChatGPT, you will see the limit will be, you will reach the limit faster. Like when you ask it to write 20 articles, whatever, by the time you reach the 10, the limit will comes in. So maybe you have to play around with the number. So do it topic by topic rather than doing everything one go. If you are connecting to other apps, yeah. How do you connect all this? You go to apps. Right? If you go to apps, you can just search for like, research. Usually consensus is the popular one, but I'll go for another tool later on. This one, because we search a lot, the one that we use is consensus, right? But these are all marketing ones. Maybe we don't really need it. Once you connect, you have to sign in to consensus and then synchronize and then start chatting here. So if I select here consensus, I can just say find two articles on AI in education, and then it will go to consensus and help me find. All right. But the problem is if you don't subscribe to consensus, your output will also be limited. You can see here, it's actually going to consensus. All right. This is one of the AI tool where you can search for articles. But like I said, you go for Google Scholar, it's easier and a cheaper version. I'm not cheaper, free version. All right. So yeah. Okay. Okay, so ChatGPT, I let you explore. Let's go to the last one, the most exciting one actually, but we may not have time to cover everything. This is my personal favorite for academic writing. If you are talking about academic writing or research writing, Claude will be your best option. If you don't want to invest in Claude, the best maybe investment or combination will be these two, NotebookLM and Gemini. You have to use NotebookLM for the grounding part and then Gemini for the drafting part, right? That will be good enough, okay? Because these two, you don't have to pay. They are available for free. Claude, you have to pay. They have the free version, but the free version will not entertain a lot of things, meaning to say you are wasting your time with the free version because by the time you type a few commands or instruction, you will over limit all the time. So you are kind of forced to subscribe. So if you want to invest, okay, if you really want to invest, instead of investing on all those other tools, you might want to invest on Claude. So to go to Claude is Claude.ai. Don't go to other link. You can explore later, because we may not have time to try everything. Just go to Claude. Make sure you are looking at the same interface. All right, this interface. Don't go for the fake one. There are a lot of fake ones now. With some typo, cloud.com or something. Yours should be cloud.ai. With this symbol, this is the logo. Okay. Now, of course, Cloud can do more or less the same thing, like the project just now. All right, same thing, like ChatGPT. So if you go to project, you can start new project and then do like what I did just now. Same thing. Let's say this project is about journal article or something, or maybe review. Okay, literature review. And then you can put here to write a review about AI in education, for example, then create the project. Same concept, yeah. In fact, ChatGPT, uh, ChatGPT copied Claude's idea, for this project, but they are after all from the same, history, because Claude is actually the kind of like the spin-off from OpenAI, right? Same thing with the Claude one, right? The Elon Musk one. Anyhow, so once you create the project, you will see the same concept here, where let me just zoom out a bit. You have put your file here, click the plus sign, and then upload all your files for this project here, and then you can start writing. Okay, this is the same part. I think I don't have to explain further. I want to go for something very unique in Claude, which is not available yet in other LLM. OpenAI said they will release soon. Gemini also said they will release soon. Gemini will release Gemini Sparks, which is same function, which with this Claude function, and also ChatGPT is releasing a new one with the agent, ChatGPT agent, which is available for all. But at the moment, Claude is still the only one where with free account, you can still use it. It's under customize. It's called customize. Wait, sorry. Go to skill. Yeah, go to skill. And then you can see all the skill here. I don't know whether you can see this. We can train Claude to do whatever we want. For example, this one, I'm training it to write in APA style. This one, I'm training it to write in my academic style, my voice. So you have less AI sounding style or output, okay? And then I also have, for example, systematic review, literature review using Prisma 2020. So if I install this skill, because I create this, it will guide you to write SLR easier. So this, at the moment, it's only available with Claude. And once even though free user can install this, you need the subscription model to to go deeper, because the free one is giving you Sonnet 4.6, which is not so good for deep synthesis. It's good for writing, for academic writing is good. But if you want it to start like synthesizing, comparing, and all that, you need to go for the paid one, which is the Opus 4.8. Okay, just to let you know the difference. So what happened here is you go to customize. If you click skills, when you have the time later on, you just click add. You have a few options here. You can browse skill, go and add the skills given by Claude. Like for example, canvas design, the nicer design, the skill creator, and we just add them. Whatever you need to add, you just click the plus sign. Okay. Now those are the one given by the company. If you want to create your own, what you can do is you can create skill. You can create with Claude, or you can write skill instruction. If you want to write skill instruction, you can go to my website there. You can copy this. Like this one is for APA synthesis, for example. Just copy that and then you paste it here. Okay, that's one way. Or if you prefer to create your own, you don't want to use mine, you just create skill, create with Claude. Okay, create with Claude. Make sure you install the skill creator first, yeah. This one, make sure you install this one first. Go to the plus sign, just browse skill just now. Make sure you install this one, yeah, skill creator. I have installed, so I don't have the plus sign. If you have not installed, you will see the plus sign. So you add first, okay? Add it first. Then you come back here just now. Let's create a skill together. So you just say, create a skill for my writing style. Then you describe. I normally write like so I don't use list of three, right? I keep my sentences shorter, not too long. This will guide it to write more like you. If you have some sample writing of your own writing, you can also upload. Then what happened here, the moment you click submit, I don't want because it's going to disturb mine for this one. It will create the skill file for you. Okay, maybe I do. Okay, I just submit just to let you see. Okay, let me just put here. So it will build the skill, and then at the end of it, it will ask you to save the skill. Okay, maybe we don't have time to wait until it's done because it will take some time, but you know how to do it. Once it's done, right, you just wait until the word save skill appear. You just save it, and then it will go to here. Whatever skill you have, it will be saved, and then you can disable or enable it whenever you want to use it. If you are not using this one, then you just disable it. If you don't need it anymore, you can just click three dot and uninstall. Okay? Or if you want to edit, let's say any skill here, you want to edit, you can click the three dot and edit, or edit with Claude. Okay, let me show you, for example, my writing academic style. So I can click edit. So I can edit here. Like for example, as use British spelling only. I don't want US spelling. I don't use M dashes a lot because M dashes is very annoying. You know, no Oxford comma, blah blah. So I give them example. So this is one way to control your writing to sound less like AI. Okay, less like AI. Like this one, no parallel structure of tree, no overclaiming, no unused superlative, so it will not use all these superlative words. So when I generate my work here using my own version, you will see a vast difference from the default one or from yours because you are not using my writing style. Get my point? So you can download, you can create your own. Just create your own. Once you're happy, right? Save. Just click save skill, so it will save it to your your customize there. Okay. Now, every time you want to write anything, Claude will refer to those skills. But just in case you're scared that Claude will not understand what you want to write, let's say you're going to write something academic, you want to force it to write academically, so you can just click use slash, then pick that one. Let's say I'm going to pick my writing style, and then I start, right? You are reinforcing to Claude that, okay, use this. Right? Write 3 paragraphs about AI in education, for example. I just messed up my writing style just now because of the edition, but never mind. I'll fix it later. But this one, you see, it will invoke academic writing style that you have. This is forcing it to write according to the style. So just use slash, right? And then you can pick whatever style you want. Let's say you're using APA, so you can just click slash APA and then say, check my citation and references. If you have the text, you can upload your file here, and then ask it to check. Okay, so you don't have to pay someone to check for APA because Claude can do an excellent job checking your APA if you are installing this. Now, if you need that one, I have it here. All right, if you have time later on, you can click this one. This is APA referencing style. All you have to do is just download this skill. Click this skill MD, download this one, click download. All right, and then go to Claude and install it. So I'm going to go to Claude. Oops, sorry. I'm going to go to Claude, right? I go to customize, skill, add, upload a skill. You get what I mean? So you upload the file that you downloaded just now, and the skill will go in. You can go online and search many. Some people search for humanized text skill and all this, no problem. But for writing, I think it's better for you to create your own because you know your style better, and everyone will be, writing a different style rather than everyone writing the same thing, right? Same way. Clear? All right. Here, I also have Prisma. If you're interested with Prisma Literature Review, if those of you who are writing, you can download this one. I already created the framework nicely here. Just click the skill.md and then download the raw file here. It will be skill.md all the time. You can see the download skill.md all the time. Go to Claude and upload that skill, and this skill will go into your list. Okay? All the lists down. All right. So you can see my writing is a bit different. Right, it doesn't look AI. There's no list of 3. There's no M dashes. All right, and then it gives an example normally like usual because I have trained it to write that way. So you can do the same as well when you are trying to make sure that your writing is, not the AI sounding. Okay. Yeah. Any questions?
Hello, Doc. Please,
Yeah.
will AI detectors flag your writing, or it will not? It will be unable to flag your writing as AI.
This one, for mine, I'm lucky because every time I write, zero AI detection, because you can see it's different. But of course, you still have to do editing. Yeah, you still have to do editing. Sometimes it will still skip once or twice. Certain sentences, you still have to fix it. But because you created the style, you should know what is your style, and anything that sound AI, you just make sure that you alert in your skill to remove them. Don't use. But you can see mine is a bit different. If you compare this one with ChatGPT, it's completely different, right? Because ChatGPT has this list of 3 and all this, and my style is I love to give example to elaborate and all that, so you can do the same, right? So this is one way to lower down the AI detector if you're concerned about the AI detector. I personally is not concerned with that, but maybe when you're writing to certain journal, they are more alert on your AI sounding thing, so you might want to edit it further. Okay, but there's one thing that I think AI cannot fix at the moment is the consistency of paragraphing. You can see the paragraphing are quite consistent. So this is where we have to come in. So when you write your paper, some paragraph you can write longer, some paragraph you can write shorter, just to diversify the length. Okay, that's something that AI cannot fix at the moment because that's how they were trained. Clear? Okay, because it's very consistent, right? The length and everything looks consistent, so you can fix it. Okay, so for Claude, I think that's one that I think you can try, which is the skills, right? If you have the time, you can also explore the project. If you subscribe, you can download the desktop version. I'm going to show you the desktop version. This is the desktop version. Okay, the beauty of the desktop version is your files will not leave your desktop. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate now a bit very quickly. So I'm gonna go to if you're using the paid version, yeah, the free version do not have this. The paid version, you have this thing called co-work, not the normal chat, but the co-work. You can see some sample that I did earlier. So when you go to co-work, it functions like a project, but your files are on your desktop or on your PC. You don't have to upload them. So what I did is, all I have to do is work in a project folder here. I'm going to create a new project or maybe choose a different folder. I just have to choose the folder. Let's say I choose this demo data. So this project will be relying on this demo data. If you go to the demo data, all the articles are here, including some paper draft and all this. Okay. Some paper draft and all this. Let's say I don't know whether we have the time to generate the whole thing. What happened here is once you have the folder here, all your data or whatever, all your data in the folder, it will be able to read it, right? So let's say before I start, check that you can see all the files in this folder. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to change it to Sonnet because Sonnet is good enough for this. So it will kind of verify whether it can read all the files here, and you will be amazed that it can actually read everything here, right? Your file stays on your desktop, never leave your desktop. So the Claude desktop is using the layer of the LLM to check through your content, and all your folder files are here. You can see now, all appearing now. Okay, so you can put your data set or whatever, so you don't have to worry that your data set is being uploaded because it stays here. It stays in the your desktop. Okay, so this is one way to kind of protect your files. It's taking some time now. That's why I don't think we have time to show the whole thing. But what you can do here is you can just give instruction to fix anything in the folder. For example, you want to rename the files. You can also ask it to rename directly without you pointing, without you having to do it manually. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate that maybe. Okay, now that it's still the file everything because it's found all the files already. The reason why I do this because sometimes you have to be careful when Claude is loaded, it may not load everything. So just to be sure, see now, it can detect all the paper in my folder and it can tell me that I have all this. I even have my interview transcript and all this, right? Let's say I want to rename the I want to rename all the research paper. Okay, rename all the research paper using this format. Author year.pdf. Okay, I'm giving instruction to Claude to rename all my PDF here, right? PDF here to this format. So let's see whether it can do it. Yeah. How many files here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that probably won't take that long, I guess. Hopefully. But while waiting, if you have a question, let me know. While waiting for this to be done, because probably will take another 1-2 minutes just to show you. All right.
So, Doc, do we have this feature in the free version, or it's only in the paid version?
It's only in the paid version. Yeah, unfortunately. That's why I mentioned just now. If you ever need to invest in one paid one, this would be the one. Don't waste your money on all these other tools like, the third party like Sciencebase, right? Don't waste your money on those things. Just use this one because it's really, really powerful. So now it's asking me for something. You can see it's asking me question. So I will ask it to use first author only and all this. You can use it to verify. You can even ask it to check your manuscript, and then expand your manuscript directly on the co-work platform. So without leaving the PC. Okay, so now it's renaming, and even though it feels like it's uploading, it's just downloading all the tools to your PC or to your laptop to perform all these tasks. So if your PC is a bit slower, you might feel a bit lagging because it's downloading. See, all the tools are being downloaded. It's trying to do multiple things now and trying to rename the file directly. Okay, so it's like, how to put it, the file never leaves your desktop. Actually, it's just installing all these tools to fix your things. So if you are not comfortable with that, then you don't allow it. But I think so far, once you do it, put it in a specific folder, don't allow it to go access your other folder. It should be fine. Okay, it should be fine. So now it's still checking. Let it fix first. By right after this, after it's done, right, you will see all this file name here, the PDF one. Maybe I just go by type. Will be changed, yeah, right? It's still running the command and still thinking. Okay, and then you can see here, you see, got them all. Every paper has a clear first author. So it's actually opening up the paper, identify the author, and then it's pushing it. See, all changed now. I don't have to do anything. Now all my papers are being renamed according to authors and year, except for those that it is not paper. See, it's so intelligent that it knows that this one is not a paper. This is an interview transcript. See, it's so intelligent that it actually knows what it is and all that. So things that are not related, it will not be renamed, and it will tell you. All right. And then you will say 2 judgment calls worth flagging. The first is Vietnamese name and all that. It will tell you when it doesn't understand anything. This is what I like the most about Claude. Every time it doesn't understand anything, it will ask you or it will tell you. So it's really a healthy way of writing, and not just do literature review, but also working with AI. All right, and then you can start drafting anything. It will refer to this and it will start generate the manuscript or the draft or whatever. So I did a sample the other day. So I give him my paper draft. I gave my paper draft like this. And then it came out with a manuscript completely like this. All right. Of course, this is a work in progress manuscript. So you still have to work with it, right? So if you're talking about expanding or whatever, Claude co-work can do a lot, right? It's just that you have to pay for the pro version. Okay, you can't use it for free. Clear? Okay, this is something that I think is different so that you can pay more attention to what is different between Claude, Gemini, and also ChatGPT. Okay, let me wrap up the session with the last part. If you have any question later on, you can still ask me. Even after the session, you can email me or whatever, or follow me on social media. I'll try my best to answer. The last part is the ethics part. Now, we always wonder whether is that okay. First thing first, it's not okay if you copy exactly 100%. Of course, you have to do a bit of editing. You yourself have to read through what you have written so that you don't rely 100% on what AI generated. But in terms of in terms of all the publishers, I put it here. You can read all these publishers' notice, Elsevier, Wiley, and everything. They are okay. They are okay if you use it. In fact, Wiley go Taylor and Francis as well go a bit hard. I think this is Wiley or Taylor Francis. Taylor and Francis, it says that the what do you call that? The use of AI system for editing and grammar enhancement is common practice, and as such, is generally outside the intent of the above policy. In this case, disclosure, as noted above, is not required but recommended. So if you use AI to improve your writing, as long as you don't fabricate references, as long as you don't fabricate data, most publishers are okay, even if you don't disclose it. All right. Even when you read, you have the time, you can read all this. The only rule is you can use it as an author. You can't use it to fabricate data, or you can't use it to solely analyze your data. You still have to use the proper software to analyze SPSS and all those. You can use AI to assist you in understanding those calculation, but not to use it as your way. Even some people say you can use ChatGPT for thematic analysis. I don't encourage that, because we know when you use AI to do thematic analysis, it can still hallucinate. So it's a bit improper for you to write a paper and say, oh, the data set were analyzed using ChatGPT for thematic analysis. It's a bit wrong, right? But if you say you do the proper way, you run your own coding and everything, even if you use NVivo or whatnot, then you can say the coding and team were verified with the assistance of ChatGPT. They are fine. All right, the journal, most publishers, even reviewers will accept that, because you don't rely on it solely. Okay, you have another layer of checking. You are just using AI to assist your understanding or to improve your writing. Clear? But so far, I notice only in our local context where some journals are a bit picky when it comes to AI detector. International journal, usually they don't really care about AI detector, as long as you prove that you are not fabricating the sources and everything. They always catch the fabrication first, actually. If your paper got outright rejected, it's not really about the AI sounding language. It's actually you are fabricating your references. So you have to check, yeah? Check your references, check your citation. Make sure they are not fabricated. All your data. The worst is data, of course. A lot of people got their paper retracted, right? Because of data. They use other people's data. They use AI to regenerate and republish that. That's wrong, right? That's wrong. But if you're talking about enhancing your writing, just to improve the way you write, no issue, right? No issue. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all from me. The extra tools are all there. Unfortunately, I don't have time to cover all. I think I intentionally do not want to cover anyway, because all these tools now, they are starting to charge you, except for these two. These two are still free. Semantic Scholar and Research Rabbit, they're still free. The rest are charging you a lot of money for low quality output, and you will find yourself wasting more time to verify and all that. So might as well use the free ones available. And if you ever need to subscribe, Claude will be the best choice. And if you want to learn more about Claude, you can search. There are many people who are sharing about Claude for academic writing. Okay, I think that's all from me. I'm going to pass back to Madam Ayu, and I apologize for the slight extension of this session. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kiman. I bet it's actually, we hope we can extend it until 10:30. But yeah, it's kind of, I feel that my head is a little bit warm for the overload of information, but it's a very lively and very fruitful session. Thank you very much, Doctor. Before we end, I would like to open again the floor for any questions that you would like to ask. Yeah, please, you can turn on your mic. Anyone?
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. My institution gave us access to NotebookLM Enterprise. What's the difference between it and NotebookLM Pro?
Enterprise is similar to education. You still get the pro feature. The main difference will be the sharing part just now. You can't share it out. It doesn't allow you to share out of your enterprise. That means your domain. So when you want to share your notebook to other people, you can only share within the circle, your domain. Okay. Do I answer that? It's actually similar in with Pro. The only limitation is you can't share out because it's enterprise, privacy and protection. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot one more thing. When you have enterprise and pro and all this, the difference with the free one is your limit is higher, meaning you can generate more. So like free user, they can only generate 3 times. You can generate more, of course. I think I can't remember how many, but way more than the rest. Okay. Any other question? Oh yeah, one more. Who raised the hand? Who's raising the hand?
Mr. Adamu.
Oh, Adamu. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Doctor.
Different.
Okay, someone else. All right.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what do you think about consensus? Any comments?
Yeah, if you actually, I forgot just now, if you pay for Claude, you can connect it to consensus and another useful tool called research gateway, which is widely owned, and you can search all the widely database without even paying a single cent to consensus. So if you want to pay, you pay for Claude, because consensus is also using Wiley sources, Wiley database. So if you want to stop subscribing consensus, you can use Claude to search. So consensus is good because of the copyright license that they pay to all this, Wiley and all that. So you don't get only Semantic Scholar. You get good ones. You really get the Q1, Q2 journals inside because they pay for the Wiley database and all that. And then it summarizes it, in a nicer format. But I think if you're just using it for searching, you actually don't need to subscribe because the writing is quite bad. Consensus writing is quite bad because he's using the GPT engine. It's good for searching, meaning to search the Wiley database, but not so good for the writing and drafting part. So you still have to come back to either one of these tools like Gemini or or Claude for the writing part. But for searching, for discovery, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Doctor.
Okay, we have two people is actually asking. Before that, I just want to inform that what is displayed on the screen right now is the attendance QR code. So it is actually shared in the chat as well, and also in the Beyond Borders group. So for those who are not, could not access the chat and also not in that group, please kindly scan this QR code, and the e-cert certificate together with the link for the video will be sent to you through the email that we collected through this attendance form. Thank you. So please proceed with the question.
Yes. Yeah. My question is about the token utilization in the paid version of the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I just want to know that, as you gave an example, maybe when you are using the whole of the folder.
Yeah.
I just want to know, Cloud used to read all those documents. So in the event of reading it all, so what will happen if you subscribe for, let's say, for a month? Can it take you up to that month without that token? Maybe how can you minimize the token usage to manage the token?
Okay, so one way to minimize Cloud token usage is always the code is the nice one because you don't have to waste the token to kind of explain too much. When you do the normal web version, you have to upload and then you have to ask it to read through and everything, and the multi layers of questioning. So that one will take up the token a lot. But when you pay, that's why I said those who are paying for Cloud, don't use the web one, use the core just now. Use the code one because the files will not leave your desktop or folder. So Claude can reduce the usage of reading the files. The problem with Claude is actually not problem. It's actually the beauty of Claude. the beauty of Claude is it actually reads everything. It's unlike ChatGPT or Gemini, which will partially read certain parts and try to make some contextual output. Claude actually read one by one. So when you upload into web, it actually has to reread a lot of times, right? So when you use Cowork, because your files are already there, it only has to read one time, and then it saves it as a MD file to know that okay, this file is about that. So it will not read it will not redo the same steps. So if you're paying for Pro, use that more. So you will minimize the token usage. All right. And right now, Anthropic is giving 2 times more if you're using Cowork. The limit, it increases the limit for you if you're subscribing to Pro. So for now, I think that is the advantage. If when it comes to token, yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you. May we know if there is a special package for students in terms of cloud subscription?
At the moment, unfortunately, no. Yeah, but if you're paying, it's about 20 USD, which is the same price as ChatGPT Plus and all this. They do not have a lower tier account at the moment. So if you think, I can't even. This one is a bit of investment, I would say. So whether you like it or not, you still have to pay more. But maybe hopefully they will come up with education version. I'm not sure, but at the moment, not yet. Yeah, not yet. Yeah. So yeah, I I can't guarantee if there's any cheaper version. But maybe I can share screen very quickly before I I just want to show that part just now, because I forgot to show this. For those who are asking. When you go to Claude, right, another advantage is, this is for free account, you can do the same. You don't have to pay, but of course the token limit will take it up. When you go to customize, there's connectors here, and then you can connect to consensus and everything. The one that I think you don't have to be bothered about consensus. Go and connect to this one, Scholar Gateway. Because this one is completely from Wiley sources, and it verifies all DOI. Right? You can see here the Scholar Gateway connector searches the current Wiley journal and research database to deliver evidence base. So you don't have to worry about fabrication or hallucination. I really like this Scholar Gateway. It doesn't exist in ChatGPT at the moment. It only has in Claude. So if you go to connectors, go to add, go to browse, and then you can search for Scholar Gateway. This one, it's free. Now they have a new one, Scholar Sidekick. This one is by third party, but this one is by Wiley themselves. If you have consensus, then you can connect to consensus. All right. So Scholar Gateway can help you to verify. Once you install Scholar Gateway, you can use the connectors here, go to connectors and select it when you start to search Scholar Gateway. Or if you want, you can even use the the function just now, use Scholar Gateway to find blah, blah, blah. Then you will find. So this one is grounded on Wiley sources. This is really, really useful because you don't have to worry so much about all the hallucinated links whatsoever, DOI. This one, it will verify across. I also have site. This is one of the lousiest, but still, because I was demonstrating site exists. So if you have, you can enable. If you don't want, you disable. Okay? So try to play around with this. Yeah. Let me just stop sharing. So apart from skill, you can also play around with the connectors.
All right. So
Yeah.
we take
So,
another one.
Doc,
Last question, please. This will be the last question,
so
for
please,
tonight.
will you get your
Sorry?
No, thank you for the opportunity. Will you get your teaching materials? I mean, your prompt and your teaching materials, are they available to us?
Yeah, the link just now. The link just now.
The link was has been shared.
The AI review dot the Keyman app just now. The link just now. Everything is there. So you just download from there. All the prompts and everything.
Or perhaps
Doctor,
we will share this link again
I
when
have
we
a
share
question.
the e-certification and also the link for the video. Okay, this is going to be the very super last question for
Who's
tonight.
asking,
Okay,
Jay?
Doctor.
Who's asking?
Doctor, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
So, have you heard the Cloud Prism?
Sorry?
Cloud Prism.
Well, please. Okay, why?
Which one is better, Cloud or Cloud Prism?
Oh, It's actually the model name. You're talking about the model name. So just use the Claude one, because if you are not using it for advanced like coding, you actually don't need that. You just use the normal one will do. Um, it's like this, yeah. People are chasing the latest model for Claude and everything. It's for the coding part actually. But what I have found out is it's also very good in writing and academic, like what we showed just now, academic review and all that. So you don't need the higher end version or whatever version you have. Just use the normal Claude will do. Because there are many versions now actually. Some people even clone Claude, right? And or another variation of Claude. Maybe have you heard of Hermes AI, or OpenClaw? Some people are also cloning the same concept, but the model that I still think is still useful for us for writing is the normal one that you're using now, the Claude AI, and you don't even need the Opus actually for complex. Unless you're doing for complex analysis, the Sonnet one will be enough for you to write good writing. Yeah. Okay, I hope I answered that. There are just too many models, to be honest. I sometimes find it very hard to keep track. But if you ever need to know anything, I think these are the common ones that you have to, that's all you need to know. You don't have to subscribe to so many. And never, I always, even my student, never fall into the trap where someone will tell you, I have an AI where you just do one click and then it's done. If somebody is trying to sell you that, then it's not
It's too
true.
good to be true.
Too good to be true.
All right. I think
Okay.
with that, we close for the Q&A, Doctor, or else we
Yeah.
might be here until tomorrow morning.
Sure.
So thank you very much, Dr. Kiman, for a very insightful session. And for Dr. Kiman, we are so happy to
No
have you
problem.
tonight.
No
Thank you
problem.
very
No
much. It's
problem.
very, I don't know how to express this, but I always enjoy your session, Doctor. It's like a big fan of yours
Sometimes it can be too
already.
fast, I know.
So thank you very much, everyone. See you
Take care,
for
everyone.
the
All the
next session.
best.
Yeah, take good care of
Thank
yourself.
you
And
so much,
Assalamualaikum
Doctor.
and
All the
good
Thank you
night.
so
best.
much. Have a good
Bye.
day.